Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here at 6 o'clock on Monday night, or Monday evening, more properly, on the 20th of May. Now, first of all, the 20th of May is my daughter-in-law's birthday. I call her my Dill. Daughter, D/I/L, daughter-in-law. And she calls me dad-in-law, D/I/L. I think that's neat. And she's a very good soul. And so this is her birthday, and so I'm going to send her a happy birthday here, and of course I'll send her some email happy birthdays and so forth. Excuse me. Now, very briefly, well, that's very doubtful, isn't it? But very briefly, at least at the start of this, I want to tell you about this conversation I had with my ex-wife today about she's trying to learn how to use her new computer. Those of you who watch this know she's trying to learn how to use her new computer. So she's pretty much learned how to find, well, to retrieve email. She can retrieve email. She doesn't quite understand what happens when she retrieves email. For example, I sent her some photographs of my son and grandson, and she got them okay because the entire attachment came in. The entire photograph came in. Now, I sent her a link to one of my YouTube videos, which, well, she got, but of course she got it as the little blue link. Well, she clicked on it. Of course, then she gets, she gets the really, really small window, And I said, well, there's a way to make that bigger. Well, first of all, it's not ever as simple as just saying there's a way to make it bigger with this individual. You have to. She doesn't like subordinate clauses and extended sentences. So I, over time, I was able to make it clear. Well, no, I was able to at least get her to listen to the fact that you could make the YouTube video big, fill a screen. Watch the video. And then at the end, you could make it smaller if you wished. Or just go away from it entirely. Okay, fine. So we dealt with that. Yes, we dealt with that. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I remember, I was trying to explain to her, I said, in fact, when I first started this whole thing back, if you go back and look at the first couple, 3 videos I did, or Paul and I did, these were predicated on the fact that I just got a new computer and I'm trying to learn how to use it. And I was in this sort of gray zone where I wasn't able to quite figure out stuff. You're in a zone where you don't know enough to even ask an intelligent question. Now, eventually you get past that, but there's a while there where, you persist and you persist and you persist, and even so you're persisting, you don't know enough to ask an intelligent question. Now, at that point you just give up, or you can just be persistent. And perhaps you heard Paul just turning on his machine. It's amazing. I got her to sit still enough to listen to that line of discussion. Okay, so Well, what she really wanted to know is how can she write an email? So then we went up to the thing with the thing in the corner, and you write the thing, and oh Lord, I didn't get into the idea that she could you know you know use her contacts list thing, because which I had filled out for, by the way. Let's not muddy the waters here. So we'll see if she can send one of these things. The thing is, she kept calling this thing about, I went to the bird. I went to the bird. Well, I'm going to take a bit of responsibility here on this one. But, I said, well, did you go to mail? No, she said, I went to the bird. I said, did you go to the stamp? No, she said, I went to the bird. Well, now see, here we have, now I'm going to give you my little drawing here. See, here's mail. No, well, mail's over here. Well, here's mail. It says mail. You can read mail. And it's got my little rendition of the eagle that's on mail. And then you've got messages. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, to my eye, the icon, I hate that word, the icon, except in the religious context, the icon for messages to me looks like a bird. It's got little wings out on either side. To me, that's a bird. To me, the mail looks like a stamp. Just because it has an eagle on it doesn't mean make it a bird. Anyway, so therein lay the misunderstanding, as so often happens with some of these things. But that was only the beginning of the conundrum, wasn't it? As is often the case. So, omitting many of the tedious intermediary steps, very repetitive. I finally explained to her how you go up to the corner and then you can click new message, and sometimes I don't know how my son set the thing back up for her. I tried to set it up so it had the words both the little thing with the pen on it and then new message, but I don't know whether he changed or not. And so I said, that's going to drop down and, fill this in. And, no, you don't have to put a subject in. And you have to hit it. Well, enter. Enter was a problem. Just, got to drop that cursor down. Well, I suppose, but see, she doesn't like to have a multiplicity of solutions thrust upon her in one sentence. It confuses her. It's like a baffling wind coming into her brain, or perhaps blowing through and muddling her brain. Now, this is an otherwise intelligent woman. She's as she's gotten older, obviously some of the dementia has set in a bit, but no, she's otherwise quite reasonable. And okay. Well, we'll see. I doubt I'm going to get any messages tonight, but who knows? Who knows? It may, who knows? We may be surprised on this, so who knows? So then we spent a fair amount of time discussing her major medical problem, which it's a respiratory problem. So I'm not going to go into that, obviously, for ethical reasons. It's a very subtle problem in terms of her pharmacologic response to some of this stuff, and it's hard to find somebody who really understands it, who under Ohio law is allowed to treat it. That's the way it is. You got to live under the system of authority that you live under, as Paul said in Romans 13, which I'm not a fan of that particular chapter in Paul, although generally I pretty much buy into a lot of what most what he says. Because I don't like to pick and choose in Scripture, as those of you who follow me know. So that's it. I'm going to go write an email to my Dill to wish her happy birthday, and I'm going to ask God to relieve my ex-wife's asthma and perhaps grant her a certain degree of enlightened peace in regards to her Apple computer. It's a struggle. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, she reads the book, she tries. Ultimately, that's all we can do is just try, isn't it? Alrighty now. Bye-bye.